5 things you should wish you knew in your 20s. Your 20s are often labeled as the golden years, full of excitement, success, and endless adventure. Movies, TV shows, and social media make it seem like it's the time of your life when everything falls into place. But the reality? It's a bit more complicated than that. While there are fun moments, your 20s are also a time of confusion, growth, and learning some tough lessons. Looking back, there are things we all wish we knew earlier that could have made the ride a little smoother. So, here are 5 key lessons to help you enjoy this decade with more clarity and ease. Number 1, your 20s won't be the time of your life. When you're young, you often hear that your 20s are supposed to be the best years of your life. Many movies and TV series show people in their 20s enjoying perfect friendships, cool jobs, and romantic adventures. But the reality is, it is filled with confusion, struggles, and challenges. You're still figuring out who you are, you're broke, and you feel like a beginner in the adult world. You're expected to have it all together, but most of the time, you're just trying to survive. That's okay though. The highs and lows make you stronger. Looking back, it's a time of growth more than anything else. And that's something to be proud of. Number 2, you don't do things for you. You do things for the future. In your 20s, it's easy to live in the moment and make decisions based on what you want right now. But one of the most important lessons you'll learn is to start thinking about the future. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, what will future me want? For example, if you're tempted to make a choice that brings short-term pleasure but long-term regret, think about how tomorrow's version of yourself will feel. Making choices that benefit the future, whether it's about your health, finances, or relationships, will make you grateful in the long run. It's like investing in yourself. 3 years from now, you'll be thanking the version of you that made smart, responsible choices. Number 3, assume everyone's got it. It's easy to look at others and think they have it all together while you're struggling. Social media makes this even worse, as people often share only the highlights of their lives. But here's a truth that will help you. Everyone has their struggles. Even the people who seem to be living perfect lives are dealing with their problems, fears, and demons. When you realize this, you start to approach others with more kindness and compassion. You stop comparing yourself to them and understand that we're all in this together. Life isn't easy for anyone, and the more we support each other, the better off we'll all be. Number 4, at some point, drugs stop being fun. If you experiment with drugs or alcohol in your 20s, it may start fun. But here's a secret that you don't often hear. Eventually, they stop being enjoyable. The highs become fewer and the lows start to take over. The feeling of fun that you once had faded, and using drugs or alcohol starts to feel like a burden rather than a pleasure. And no matter how hard you try, you won't get that original excitement back. When that happens, it's time to move on. Many people find that sobriety gives them everything they thought drugs and alcohol would bring them: happiness, peace, and clarity. It might not be an easy change, but it's a rewarding one. Number 5, don't stress if you don't crush it this decade. There's a lot of pressure in your 20s to be successful right away. You might feel like you need to have a dream job, tons of accomplishments, or a perfect life by the time you hit 30. But the truth is, most people don't crush it in their 20s, and that's okay. Your 20s are about learning, growing, and finding your path. It's fine if you make mistakes or feel lost. There's no deadline for success, and everyone moves at their own pace. You have plenty of time to achieve your goals, and stressing over it won't make it happen any faster. Relax, take your time, and trust that everything will fall into place when it's supposed to. These 5 lessons are some of the most important things you'll learn in your 20s. It's a decade of ups and downs. So keep these ideas in mind, and you can face it with a little more wisdom and self-compassion.